Hello friends, welcome to the Angular form tutorial. In this tutorial we will see how to create a reactive form in Angular and how to use reactive form in Angular. In the previous tutorial we learned about the template driven form. So if you didn't watch, I recommended you please go to part 3 of this tutorial series and see how we create the template driven form. So let's start with the reactive form in Angular. So basically reactive form are better than template form because this reactive form we can create the complex template as well, but with the template driven form we can't create the complex scenario forms. So reactive form are more scalable, reusable and testable. That we will see while practical, that why it is more reusable and the testable. And in these form model which is created under app module.ts file is responsible to handle all user interaction and the validation. So basically the meaning of the responsibility of app module.ts is that, like, if we have to do the validation, it is all the validation done under the component classes, and if we want to create the custom validation we have to create under this app.module.ts, like it take the reference from this file, and there is no any data binding is done, means there is no two-way data binding is necessary here, and mostly code is done in the component side, like the complex logic and everything is written in the component side. Only in the template side we write the view which show on the browser, and as I told, like no two-way data binding is required in this dynamic form field. Like in this reactive form, at the runtime if we want to add the form dynamically, then we can add it. Like suppose if we click on, like we are going to support any questions, but there is your question is not available, then we give one option called other. When you will click on other, it will show another text box. So kind of dynamic form we can create under the reactive form, and we can create custom validation and dynamic validation also we can create under this reactive form. We will see all these things in the coming videos, that how we create at the runtime. So basically before working with the reactive forms at the app.module.ts we have to add like reactive form module. So this need to be import under the app.module.ts file. Like in template driven form we import the form module in the app.module.ts, like that in for the reactive form we need to import reactive form module under the app.module.ts file. And after this, at the component side we have to import the following important directive called form control, form group and form builder from the Angular form library. We will understand all these three directive in a bit, and we will understand the use of the all these three directives. So basically the form control is like it access the value of control. Like if any control I have taken on the template side and we want to fetch the value of that control, then we use the form control. So this is basically a individual for a control. So it access the value of control and validate that in the form. In this form we initialize form control to use HTML control on the component side. Like I have taken the control in the HTML and I want to initialize, or I want to access that control in the component side, then we initialize those HTML control using the form control. And the form group is basically a collection of the form controls. So basically the HTML control which we have taken in the HTML, the collection of the form control we can say is the group, is the collection of the form control is called form group. So basically collection of the form control, just as the control give you access to the state of an element, the group gives the same access but to the state of the wrapped control. Like in a collection way it gives the accessible to all the control. And the form builder, so basically what happened in the form group and form control, we have to initialize the control manually, but in the if we use a form builder, it manually or automatically initialize all the control. So this is more useful than these two. So used to develop the form with the control initial value. With this, no need to initialize the form control method, it automatically do this all these things. And this is basically a service. This form builder is basically a service. So need to inject in the constructor, like we have to inject it in the constructor of the component file, and it's a simple alternative to create a form group. Like it's a alternative, basically the form builder is an alternative of the form control in the form group. So we use is mostly form control because it automatically initialize all the controls. So let's understand this reactive with using an example. So go to the Visual Studio Code here. So what we will do here, we will make a form of the student registration form we will create, and we will see how it work in the reactive form, and we will see the difference like template driven form and the reactive driven form, like which control we use in the reactive forms and we don't use in the template driven form. So let's start. So I will take a one div and I will decorate this div as a bootstrap class like container, and under this class what I will do, I'll take another div and I will decorate this with row class, and under this I will take another div and I will take class like form bg. Under this I will take one h2 and I will write student registration form, and under this I will create our forms. So what I will do, this form I will use. So this form we use in the template driven form also, like this keyword, because under form only we have to implement the form. So what I will do, I will take some parameter under this. So under this form I will take one label called username. So I will write like student name, so label, and I will write student name, and under this label I will take, before that this portion like student name we have to take under the div as we have we taken in the template driven form also, and I will decorate this div with the class like form group. So it will come in a group. So all these control will come under the one group, so it will look good on the browser. So under this div we have taken one label, and this is the form closer. So let's manage it properly, so it will be useful to manage the control and it will not make us confused. So I will under this label I will take a one input, and the input type is the text, and I will take a placeholder as a please enter student name, and I will take a one bootstrap class that is form control. So that is done with the one control, and that is student name. Now I will take another control, and this one I will take as the age, student age, and I will take this type as a number, and here I will enter like please enter student age, and after this div I will take like password and the confirm password. So this is for password, and here this will be the password type, and please enter password, and next div I will take as a confirm password. And the type of this confirm password is the same only. Please enter confirm password. So now we have done with the small HTML page, like we have taken the controls, and let's see at point of this time what it is showing on the browser. So we can see on the browser it is showing like student name, student age and password and the confirm password. What we will do, we will take a one button also. So under this confirm password I will take one button, and this is input, and the type of this is, sorry, not input, we have to take the button, and the type of this button is submit, and we will take the class for this is like button and button primary, and I will take this button like submit student info. Let's save it and see again on the browser. So we can see, as we expected, we have the HTML form. Now what we have to do, we have to make this form as a reactive form. So now to making it as a reactive form, first what we have to do, we have to add the reactive form module under the app module. So go to the app module file first, and under this app module file we have to add the reactive form module. Like in my case I have already added this, you add this reactive form module, and this module should become under the import array. So I have added it here as well. So that is the first thing. Now next thing what we have to do, we have to go on the HTML form and we have to make it as a reactive form. So there are some steps which we need to do, and what all are these? Like first on the form level, like on this form level, first we have to add like form group. So form group, and we have to give this form group name. So I will give like registration form. So my form group name is the registration form, and apart from this, one thing we have to add is like form control name. So as I explained, like form group is basically a collection of this all the controls, form control basically. So control will be like we have to decorate it as a form control, C should be capital, control name, and we have to give the name to the form control name. So I will give like name, I will give name, and we have to decorate all the control with form control name. So let's do it. So I have copied, and here I will add like age, and next is password, and here I will give confirm password, and here I will make it small only. So to make it as a reactive form, what we did, we added one form group and we have given the name like registration form, and we have decorated all these control with the form control name, and the form control name we have given to all the control. So basically in the reactive form, what is this? This form group is basically a collection of the form controls. So we have given the form control name in the form group. So after doing this, let's go to the app component.ts file. Now in this ts file we have to import some decorator like import, and these will come from the form library, Angular form library. And what all are decorator like? Form control and form group. So we have taken all these two. Now what we have to do? We have to initialize this registration form group into the component. So basically this registration form name should match with HTML registration form, because this is a type of the form group. This form group means collection of the all control. So first we have to initialize this group equal to new form group, and this one we have to initialize. And what it says, like a collection of the child control, the key of each child is the name under which it registered. Like what it says, like it's a collection of the child control. So what I explained, like it's a collection, form group is a collection of the control, child control, which comes under this form group. So the form group, and under this we have to take all the control and we have to initialize all the control basically. So this name should match with the HTML form. So what, as we have taken like first control, like form control name is the name here, so we have to initialize, and this is a type of the form control name. So name new, and we have to initialize form control, because these is the control label, so we have to initialize the form control. So initialize the control with the initial value or an object that define the initial value and disable state. Like what it trying to say, when we initialize this form control, inside this we can give our default value also, and it will show on the browser. So I will give like a Munish. So by default the value of the name is the Munish, and next is the age, and same we have to initialize form control and password and confirm password. So basically so far what we did, we added form control and form group from the form library, and after that we initialize basically form group and the all the control, like we have initialized like form group and the control, and we have initialized all these controls under this form group. So let's save it and see on the browser first. So it is showing as the expected. Now there are two things, like when we'll click on the submit button, it should show on the browser, or but instead of click on the button, what we will do, come under to this and here under this submit button and under this form, what I will do, I will use the interpolation so we can see the data on the browser. And here I will take this registration form, inside this registration form dot value, and the value should show as a pipe, means JSON. So let's save it. Like we have used it as an interpolation, like it will reflect the value to this registration form. Like in this registration form, basically a form group, and we have initialized this registration form as a form group, and we have taken all the control inside this. So let's save it and see on the browser. So on the browser it is showing like this JSON group. So as we have given the student name as a default, so that's why it is loading as a Munesh, and we can see it is reflecting to this JSON. Now what I will do, I will give the age like 20, it is reflecting here. You see all the password. If I will give like password, it is reflecting, and for the confirm password also like this, so it is reflecting. So that is the basically a way to create a reactive form and in the Angular 8 basically. So as what we did in an overthrow, I will tell, like we first added the form group, and then we added the form control name inside this, all the controls, form control name. Then in the component class, what we have initialized all this form group and the form control name. Like this thing we have can do using the button click also, that will understand in the coming videos, that on the button click how to submit the data. And we have added these form control and the form group, we have imported from the form library, and we have added a reactive form from the form library. So basically that is all about the reactive form in the Angular 8. In the coming videos we will learn what is the form builder and how we use the nested group in Angular 8 and the validations. So for now that's it. If you have any question, please comment. Thank you.